Good morning. Our scripture reading today is from a familiar passage from Luke. In those days, a decree went out from Emperor Augustus that all the world should be registered. This was the first registration and was taken when Quirinius was the governor of Syria. All went to their own towns to be registered. Joseph also went from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to the city of David called Bethlehem, because he was descended from the house and family of David. He went to be registered with Mary, to whom he was engaged and who was expecting a child. While they were there, and the time came for her to deliver her child, and she gave birth to her firstborn son, and wrapped him in bands of cloth, and laid him in a manger, because there was no place for them at the inn. Our continuing testament today is another letter from one of the characters in the Bible, in the story that we don't hear from too often. And it's called What God Brings. A letter from the innkeeper. I'm getting tired of being a figment of your imagination, although I'm used to it at this point. The idea of me occurs to you once a year for about 3 seconds when you hear the story of Christmas. At outdoor live nativities, somebody in children's pageants dresses up in a costume, opens the door of a pretend inn, hangs a lantern on a hook, talks briefly to Mary and Joseph, then shakes his head and points out back. Then somebody waves goodbye and closes the door. With that, my part in your religious imagination is done for the year. Let's start with how you view me, because that will have a big impact on our ability to communicate. Some of you view me as mean and cold-hearted. You assume I made a snap judgment about a very pregnant young woman who showed up on my doorstep. You have me speaking coarsely to the young couple before waving them out back and slamming the door behind me. Others imagine the exact opposite. You give me a twinkle in my eye and a jolly double chin. You see me rushing good-naturedly back and forth from the stable on Christmas night with linens and towels and bowls of steaming broth. Let's take a closer look at where you get your ideas from, for me. My entire role in the Christmas narrative comes from 10 words in the Bible. Here they are, in their entirety, and I quote, "Because there was no place for them at the inn." As you can see, I don't even appear in the Bible. There's no single mention of me in Scripture beyond this neutral statement about my jam-packed inn. From these 10 words, you and zillions of others have conjured me entirely in your imagination. Who I am in the divine drama is an inkblot. You see in me what you want to see. If you see me as a kindly innkeeper who takes pity on Mary in her condition and Joseph in his distress, then that is what you will make of me. If you want me to be the stereotypical heartless business owner who cares only about money, then you will turn me into that guy. Either way, I'm a caricature of your own making. Here are the facts. When it came time for Mary to deliver her child, she gave birth and laid him in a manger, my manger. I offered to give something to Mary and Joseph and to Jesus as well, something essential: shelter, warmth, and a reasonably safe private place for a pregnant woman and a total stranger to have a baby. And unlike the rest of the Christmas gang in your nativity sets, I did what I did without any special message from God. God sent me no angel choir. God did not alert me to a particularly bright star in the night sky. God gave me no dreams, no visions, and no divine visitors. I got no information whatsoever to cue me into the holy significance of that knock on my door from that disheveled couple with their urgent request. Under what circumstances would a hotel manager in your day book a room for a woman who is 9 months pregnant to deliver her baby on the premises? How would the other guests feel listening to all that racket for 12 hours, 16, 20 hours or more? Plus, there's the problem of what to do with the new mother and her squalling newborn the next day and the day after that. I've been called every name in the book for my decision, but the facts are, I came up with a workable plan and gave what I had. Maybe logic wasn't the driving factor for me that night at all. Innkeeping wasn't my trade, but hospitality, broadly speaking, was a core value in my culture and a virtue in my faith tradition. The scriptures revere Abraham and Sarah for entertaining angels unaware. Like all Jewish children, I was taught from an early age to welcome strangers, immigrants, and outcasts. When I grew up, I went into the hospitality business. I had my reasons. Do my reasons matter?